Hi, I'm Luke Timmerman. I'm the founder and editor of Timmerman Report and a contributing writer at Forbes. Here at the Bio CEO and Investor Conference in New York today with Julie Papanek, a principal at Canaan Partners. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Julie, can you tell me a little bit about your background in biology and how you got interested in this thing we're calling digital health?
Yeah, absolutely. So my background, I studied biophysics and biochemistry, got my master's degree in biotechnology, and then joined Genentech and managed preclinical to phase 2 oncology teams, cross-functional teams, before going over to commercial, working on the marketing side for Tarceva, and then new product planning and launches for oncology products at Genentech. And after that, I tried to start my own company. It was more consumer-oriented, and from there joined Canaan's investment team, where Canaan is a tech and healthcare venture firm, and I'm a member of the healthcare practice, where we invest in biopharmaceutical companies, medical device companies, as well as digital health companies.
So you've got a broad range of experiences there. Why is this thing, this smartphone that we carry around, I carry it around everywhere I go, most people do, why is this such a groundbreaking medical device? Most people don't think of it that way, at least yet.
It's a really good question, and I also love your phone, by the way. It's a fantastic phone. Part of it is about getting access to data, and you think about some of the problems that pharmaceutical companies and hospitals and medical device companies are dealing with. It's how to get access to the right data quickly and efficiently so they can either make a decision, learn something about a patient or a disease, and potentially intervene. And I don't know about you, but for me, my phone is next to me 24/7. It knows when I fall asleep, when I get in my car. And from that data, you can collect not only behavioral metrics about what normal looks like for you, and say you're a patient that is dealing with bipolar disease, you can track when your behavior changes by your phone, by seeing whether or not someone should actually reach out and intervene. And it also becomes a hub for how to collect clinical measures. So if you're trying to develop a product for sleep or for helping people who are dealing with other issues like narcolepsy, you're able to track their data as it comes off their phone to be able to understand whether or not your product is working well or whether or not they should be enrolled in a service that could help them out.
Someday you might be able to show your genome on your phone to your primary care physician.
I think that would be great. I think that's definitely coming.
What's the hardest part about making this work? It seems like this is one of those areas that has to bridge biotech and traditional tech and software.
Yeah.
There's a communications gap there, for one. But what are some of the other challenges?
I think some of the challenges are you have great technologists who have built magnificent products for consumers that are trying to find ways to sell it into the healthcare enterprise, whether that's pharma or devices or a hospital. And they're thinking about, how do I rebuild my technology stack to be legally compliant for healthcare? How do I talk about my value proposition in the language that's familiar to the healthcare market? How do you talk about, instead of steps or number of reads or engagement, you talk about primary endpoints, you talk about surrogate endpoints, you talk about registries.
Words that most people don't understand.
No. And so as I think about that language barrier, I think it's a part of how these companies have to think about product market fit and selling into these corporations, for-profit and nonprofit, that have a need for these mobile technologies and wearables and sources of data that give insight into their customers.
Well, this is going to represent a culture change, isn't it?
I agree.
For both biotech and tech.
Both, for sure.
Very interesting. Well, thanks very much for joining us, Julie.
Thank you.